Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. In this video, I am going to solve XAT 2023 Quant and DI section. So I'll present you the answers to all the questions that were asked. There were some questions with errors and I'll notify those questions as well. So those questions were later scrapped and students were given marks for those questions. So before I begin, if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for the best content on all MBA entrance examinations. So here was the first question. It turned out to be a sitter in the examination. Let's go through it. It says a small jar contained water, lime and sugar in the ratio of 97:3. A glass contained only water and sugar in it. So there is a small jar and there is a glass. Okay. Contents of both small jar and glass jar were mixed in a bigger jar and the ratio of contents in the bigger jar was 85, 5, 10. Okay. Now find the percentage of water in the bigger jar. What we generally do is we see a question, we think that it is a mixture allegation question. Of course it's a question based on mixture and allegation, but see, the question asks the percentage of water in the bigger jar. So we are already given this percentage of the bigger jar. So this was a trap question and many of the students ended up getting it wrong because what they did was they tried to solve the question. Even I did the same thing. I solved the question and marked the answer accordingly. So the answer is straight away. They have already given that bigger jar had 85% water. Rahim is riding upstream on a boat from point A to point B at a constant speed. The distance from A to B is 30 km. 1 meter after Rahim leaves from point a speedboat starts from point A to go to point B. It crosses Rahim's boat after 4 minutes. If the speed of the speedboat is constant from A to B, what is Rahim's speed in still water? Okay, so let us understand this problem. So there is A to B. Rahim is going in this direction and that speedboat also joins him 1 minute later. Okay. Now it is going upstream. Also given that the boat starts 1 minute late and it crosses Rahim's boat after 4 minutes. So at the end of 5 minutes, both are at the same place. So Rahim has covered in 5 minutes and this has covered in 4 minutes. Right, now we need to find the speed, Rahim's speed in still water and tell that which of the following statements is sufficient to answer the question. So let us say Rahim's speed is R and the speed of the boat is S. And we are given that the river is flowing and they are going upstream. So let us say the river speed is X. Okay. Now when their upstream speed, since they are going upstream, Rahim's speed will be R minus X and the speedboat speed will be S minus X. Now first, without even using this information, what we know is they meet after 5 minutes from Rahim's start because boat starts after 1 minute later. Okay, 1 minute later and it catches in 4 minutes. So boat takes 4 minutes, Rahim takes 5 minutes. So the speeds are in the inverse proportion of their time. So this will be 4 upon 5. Okay, R minus X upon S minus X is 4 upon 5. That is without using any of these statements, right? Now, if first information says the speed of the speedboat in still water is 30 km per hour. So from first we get that S is equal to 30. Okay, but what we need to find out, what is the speed, Rahim's speed in still water? So we need to find R. We will get S equal to 30, where we will not be able to solve for R and X. So one is not sufficient. Second statement says Rahim takes 3 hours to reach point B from point A. Okay, so Rahim takes 3 hours. So from second statement, we will get that the distance is 30 kilometers. That is given to us. If he takes 3 hours, that means Rahim's upstream speed is 10. So R minus X is equal to 10. But if you look at R minus X is equal to 10, we cannot find S and X from this information. So second alone is also not sufficient. Now when we combine both these statements, okay, so we get R minus X is equal to 10. So that is 10 upon S is 30. 30 minus X is 4 upon 5. Now we can solve for X. Once we solve for x, we can get these values. We can get all the values. We can get r minus x also, and hence we can answer the question. So both statements together are sufficient to answer the question, but each statement alone is not sufficient. Next question. Again, there was a question on data sufficiency, and this was a controversial question which was scrapped. So let us understand what does this question say. It says that in a cricket match, three slip fielders are positioned on a straight line. The distance between first and second slip is same as the distance between second slip and third slip. Okay, so it says that there is S1, S2, and S3 equally spaced. The player X, who is not on the same line of slip fielders, throw a ball to third slip, and the ball takes 5 seconds to reach the player at third slip. If he had thrown the ball at the same speed to the first slip or to the second slip, it would have taken 3 seconds or 4 seconds respectively. Okay, so it took 5 seconds here. It must have taken 4 seconds. It must have taken 3 seconds. Okay, so that's what it says. And then we need to find the what is the distance between second slip and the player X, that we need to find that what is the distance between them. Okay, now first thing is given that ball travels at a speed of 3.6 kilometer per hour. So we can find the distance between uh, using this, we can find the distance. Okay, but if you see this triangle is not possible. Okay, how is this triangle not possible? It says the distance between first slip and the third slip is 2 meters. So if you take 1 and 1, 5, 3, 2 is not a possible triangle. Okay, so this question was scrapped. This was invalid, and hence it was removed. So it was an invalid question because the triangle could not be formed using the data which is given to us. Rajneesh bought an item at 25% discount on the printed price. He sold it at 10% discount on the printed price. What is his profit in percentage? It was one of the setters in the paper, and one should have definitely attempted it. So suppose the market price is 100. So he bought it at 75 and he sold it at 10% discount, which is 90. 10% discount on printed price. So his profit is 15 out of 75, which is 20%. This was one of the easiest question in the paper, and everyone should have supposedly attempted this question. Well, let's move on to the next question. Given a is equal to x plus 3 plus mod of x minus 2 minus mod of 2x minus 8, we need to find the maximum value of a. So in mod based questions, the concept is find the critical points. Okay, so for the first case, the critical point is 3, x minus 2 is 0, so put x is equal to 2, 2x minus 8, so put all these equal to 0, like put x plus 3 equal to 0, x minus 2 equal to 0, and 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. So we get three values of x. So for values of x minus 3, x is equal to minus 3, and 2 and 4, let us calculate these values. So this becomes 0, x plus 3 is 0, x minus 2, minus 3 minus 2 becomes minus 5. If we take mod, it becomes 5. Okay, and then we have 2x minus 8. 2x means minus 6. Minus 6 minus 8 is 2x is minus 6, and minus 6 minus 8 is minus 14. That becomes 14. Okay, and then we have this becomes 19. Then the second value that we will get is 2. In case of 2, we have I think I have noted this question wrong. Let me just check this question, because the answer was 9, I remember, to this question. Now this is right only. Let's put the values minus 3 and 2 and 4. So if we take minus 3, this becomes 0. Okay, and this is minus 3 plus minus 2 is 5. And this is minus 6 minus 8, 14. So this is, sorry, minus 14. So this is minus 9. And second case, if we to put x equal to 2, this is 5, this is 0, and this is 4 minus 8, that is minus 4. So 5, 0, 4, this is 9. And the third case is 4. If we put 4, this is 7, this is 2, and this is 0. So we get the value as 9. The maximum value is 9. So we were making a mistake in this. Instead of plus, it should have been minus. So the answer is coming as, the maximum value is coming as 9. ABC is a triangle with BC is equal to 5. D is the foot of the perpendicular from A on BC. E is a point on CD such that BE is equal to 3. So let us make this triangle. So ABC is a triangle with BC is equal to 5. D is the foot of perpendicular from A. So this is A. BC is 5. And E is the point on CD such that BE is equal to 3. So BE is 3 and EC is equal to 2. EC will definitely be 2. Right. So it does not look equal. So do not measure it using this. Uh, we have to find the value of AB square minus AE square plus 6CD. Okay, so we need to find this expression. So AB square is AD square plus DB square or BD square. Okay, AE square is given by AD square plus DE square. Okay, so when we subtract them, we get BD square or DB square minus DE square. Okay, so this is the expression for this term. So we need to essentially find plus 6CD. Right, now what we will do is, one thing that we see is, one, we are taking BD, another term is DE, and another term that we have is CD. Okay, let us say this distance from B to D is X. Let us assume that this distance is X. Since this is the point in between, let us take this distance. So BD is equal to X. Now DE will be X minus 3. And CD will be, so this complete distance is 5. This is X. So this will be 5 minus X. Let us put these values and try to solve it. So BD is x square minus DE is x minus 3 whole square, and CD is 5 minus x. So let's just open it. X square minus x square minus 6x, so that will become plus 6x minus 9 plus 30 minus 6x. Right, x square gets cancelled, 6x gets cancelled. So 30 minus 9, we have 21 as the answer. So the value of this is 21. The addition of 7 distinct positive integers is 1740. What is the largest possible, greatest common divisor of these 7 distinct positive integers? Okay. Now we'll use the conventional method, as well as we will see uh, the approach using the options. Right. So let us say Now we have to have distinct positive integers and we have to find their greatest common divisor. So if they have a greatest common divisor, that means the numbers should be uh, of see, we have to find the largest HCF. Okay, so the numbers should be the least and these are distinct. So now how can we think of numbers? We can think of numbers like x, 2x, 3x because x is their HCF and let's say the numbers are like this. We have seven numbers. So why are we taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Because we need to find the greatest HCF. That means the sum of these numbers should be least. And the least numbers we can, seven distinct least numbers with a common HCF, we can think of this is this. Now when we add these, so we will get 7 into 8 by 2, which is 28. So the sum is 28x. Now 28x, this is 1740, right? Now 28x does not become like 1740 is not divisible by 28. But if we see, if you notice 1740, if you divide by 29, 29 into 60 is 1740. So it means instead of 7x, we might have had 8x. It is also a possibility because we are given the sum, right? So the numbers must have been these. So the total is 29x, which is equal to 1740. So this gives us x as 60. That was the HCF that we were considering. That is the answer. Another approach, since there is none of the above as the option, then you would have to do this in a conventional way. If none of these was not given as the option, you would have chosen a number that would divide 1740. Okay, so you could clearly see that it is 60 which will divide 1740. So if you did not think of this approach, you could have gone with 60 as the answer and marked it. Here's the next question. It says Joe's borrowed some money from his friend at a simple interest rate of 10% and invested the entire amount in stocks. At the end of the first year, he repaid one fifth of the principal amount. At the end of the second year, he repaid half of the remaining principal amount. At the end of the third year, he repaid the entire remaining principal amount. At the end of the fourth year, he paid the last 3 years' interest amount. As there was no principal amount left, his friend did not charge any interest in the fourth year. At the end of fourth year, he sold out all his stocks. Later, he calculated that he gained rupees 97,500 after paying principal and interest amounts to his friend. If his invested amount in the stocks became double after at the end of the fourth year, how much money did he borrow from his friend? Okay, so this is a lengthy question, and ideally, one should have not attempted this question in the examination. Too lengthy to read and then process the information. Let us look at the solution to this. Okay, so he takes 100 rupees in the first year. So what will be his interest? His interest has to be 10 rupees. Okay. Now he pays one fifth of the principal amount at the end. So now he is left with 80 rupees. Okay. And interest he has to pay it is 8 rupees. Okay. At the end of the second year, he paid half of the remaining principal amount. So he has paid again 40 rupees. So he is left with 40 rupees and he has to pay 4 rupees interest. Okay. Now, at the end of the third year, he repaid the entire remaining principal amount. And so this is first year he pays 20% and he's left with 80. In the second year, he pays 40 and he's left with 40. And the third year, he prepaid the entire remaining principal amount. So now he is left with zero. He does not have to pay any interest. Okay. Now, what is he doing is at the end of the fourth year, he paid the last 3 years interest amount. As there was no principal left amount, his friend did not charge any interest in the fourth year. So, in the fourth year, he is paying no interest. Okay. So, this was the principal that he paid. 100 rupees was the principal. Okay. This is the left amount. Principal which was left. So he paid a total principal of 100 rupees plus he paid an interest of 22 rupees in total. So it was important to understand this part that first year he will pay 10 rupees interest, second year he will pay 8 rupees interest, third year he will pay 4 rupee interest. Why? Because it is simple interest, not compound interest. Okay. Now he has total paid 122 rupees to his friend. Okay. And what happened to his stocks? His stocks doubled. It is given that stocks amount in the stocks became double. So he invested 100 in stocks, it became 200. Okay, so his earning is 200, and what is his payment? 220, 122. Right? So his gain will be 78. Right. So 78 parts is 97500. We need to find. So let us say this is 78x. Right. 78x is given as 97500. We need to find how much he borrowed from us. We need to find the value of 100x. Okay, so this is 975 into 100 you do and divide by 70 to get the result. I mean, you can ignore the zeros. Basically, it will involve four more zeros, two more zeros. So 975, two zeros here and two zeros here, divided by 78. Okay, now you should get this feeling that it should have some factor which is this is divisible by 25. So 25 into 39, basically 39 into 25, and this is 39 into 2. Okay, so when we reduce, we get 25 and 2. So 25 with 4 zeros divided by 2, 12.5 and 4 zeros. So we get 1,25,000 as the answer. And you could have done with approximation also. This is roughly 80%. 80% is roughly 1 lakh. So it will be 1,25,000. That is uh, the amount that he borrowed from his friend. Now this was difficult to process because too much information given, and ideally one should have skipped this question in the examination. The Guava Club has won 40% of their football matches in the Apple Cup that they have played so far. If they play another N matches and win all of them, their winning percentage will improve to 50. Further, if they play 15 more matches and win all of them, their winning percentage will improve from 50 to 60. How many matches has the Guava Cup club played in the Apple Cup so far? Okay, in the Apple Cup matches, there are only two possible outcomes: win or loss. Draw is not possible. So we are given that they have one certain percentage. If they win all the matches, they will reach another percentage, and we need to find that how many matches they have played thus far. Okay, so we will do this by allegation. How will we do by allegation? Their win rate is 40%, and if they win the remaining matches, so they will win 100%. Okay, so win all of them, so that means their win rate is 100%. So if they win 100%, their win rate will become 50%. So it is 50 and this is 10. So the number of matches is in the ratio 5:1. Okay, so this means now they are playing n matches. We do not know the value of n. Now, second case, after this, if they play, now they have 50% win percentage, and if they play 15 more matches and win all of them, their win rate will become 60%. Okay, so now if you take 60%, that means 4:1. Okay, 4:1. What happens? This is 15 matches, so they should have played 60 matches by then, right? This is 4:1. So the number of matches should be 4:1. So this should be 60 matches since these are 15 more matches. So this means they should have played 60 matches. So 5:1 total they should have played 60 matches. That means they have already played 50 matches and they have to play 10 more matches here to make it 60. So it is asking that how many matches they have played so far. So they have played 50 matches so far. If they win, n is equal to 10 here. We do not have to tell the value of n. We have to tell how many matches they have played. Now we can cross verify this answer by using the data. So 50 matches खेले, उसमें से they have won 20. Now if they played 60 matches and they win all 10, so that is 30. That means 50%. And if they play 15 more, that is 75, and win all the 15 more wins, so that means they take it to 60%. So you have verified also that the answer is correct. So the best application of allegation in order to solve this question. Okay, so here's the next question based on sine and cos, sine only. Now, how to do this question is, of course, one is that you know the values of sine 15 and 75, which probably most of us won't know. Another method to do is, one thing to understand is sine 15 is equal to cos 75, right? I'm sure if you know this trigonometry, 90 minus theta, sine square 15 will be equal to cos square 75. Okay. Now, cos square 75 is basic knowledge of trigonometric identities. Okay, so we get this. So let us put sine square 15 as x square. So this will be 1 minus x square. So now what we will have to do, we have to reduce this expression. Now this is the best way to approach this question rather than putting the values of sine 15 or applying some uh, more identities ki sine ka cube or ये सब cos and all those. This is a simple way. So let us put sine square 15 as x square. This will be 1 minus x square. Now sine raised to the power 6 15 degree is x square ka whole cube plus 1 minus x square का whole cube plus 6 sine square 15 is x square and this is 1 minus x square. Okay, similarly here we have sine raised to the power 415, that is x square whole square plus 1 minus x square whole square plus 5 times of x square 1 minus x square. Okay, let us do that algebra that we used to do, expanding the brackets and finding it. So x to the power 6 plus 1 minus 3x square plus 3x to the power 4 minus x to the power 6 plus 6x square minus 6x to the power 4. Okay. Similarly, in the denominator, we will have x to the power 4 plus 1 minus 2x square plus x to the power 4 plus 5x square minus 5x to the power 4. Okay. So x to the power 6 and x to the power 6 gets cancelled. We have 1 minus 3x square plus 6x square plus 3x square plus 3x to the power 4 minus 6x to the power 4 minus 3x to the power 4 in the numerator. In the denominator, x to the power 4 plus x to the power 4 minus 5x to the power 4. So minus 3x to the power 4. 1 is there, constant. Minus 2x square plus 5x square plus 3x square. So we see that it is equal to 1. So one could have applied this trick to solve the question. Okay. Although many people do not practice trigonometry, if you know the trigonometric identities, class 10th में कराए जाते हैं, identities कराए जाती हैं, at least these like if you have studied trigonometry till class 10th, you should have been able to do that. If like you remember class 11 12 trigonometry, then you could have done through other methods also, but this is a simple way to attempt this question. I hope you are enjoying the solutions. So please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's move on to the next question. It says Amit has forgotten his 4-digit locker key. He remembers that all the digits are positive integers and are different from each other. Moreover, the fourth digit is the smallest and the maximum value of the first digit is 3. Also, he recalls that if he divides the second digit by the third digit, he gets the first digit. How many different combinations does Amit have to try for unlocking the locker? Okay, so let's solve this one. Question on number system. Please do prepare number system for that. So it says that this is the least and this is maximum 3. Okay, so what we can do is we can take it 2 and we can take it 1. We are given that this upon this, let us say this is x and y. X upon y is equal to this digit. So x upon y is equal to 2 and they are and are different from each other. These are distinct digits. So 2 का ratio कैसे बन सकता है? 2 and 1 are not possible, 4 and 2 are not possible, 6 and 3 are possible. Then we can have 8 and 4 also satisfying the conditions. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Since it can be maximum 3, we can take it 3 and we'll take it 1. Okay. Now we have to take the ratio as 3 now. So 3 if we take, it is 3 and 1 not possible. 2 and 6 is a possibility. If we take 3, 6 to 1, that is possible. So let us take another possibility. Let's take 3 and 2. Okay. Because it is least, right? It is maximum, which is 3. So 3, we are taking the maximum. We are increasing it to 2. So 3 and 2, we need to make a ratio of 3. So either we have 3 1 or we have 6 2 or we have 9 3 also. 3 possibilities. But 3 1 is not possible because 3 is used. 6 2 is not possible because 2 is used. 9 3 is not possible because 3 is already used. So we cannot have any more cases. So we have 3 possible combinations. It was a good question, testing your basic skills of numbers. Alright, let's see the next question. ABC is a triangle and the coordinates of A, B and C are A, comma B minus 2C, A, comma B plus 4C and minus 2A, comma 3C respectively, where ABC are positive numbers. Area of triangle ABC is. Okay, so the best approach is to put the values of A, B, C. Okay, so A, B, C are positive numbers. Let us take 1, 1, 1 as the coordinates. So we will have 1 comma b minus 2 is minus 1. Okay, and then we have 1 comma 5 and minus 2 comma 3. Okay, so we can plot these. It is 1 comma minus 1 and 1 comma 5. This is 1 comma 5. This is 1 comma minus 1 and minus 2 comma 3. Minus 2 will be somewhere here and 3 is exactly in between them. So if we see this turns out to be an isosceles triangle. Okay, minus 2 comma 3 if we take, it is exactly in between these two. Okay, so what we can get the area, we can find the area by taking this length. This can be taken as a perpendicular. See, this is minus 2 comma 3. This point is going to be 1 comma 3. Okay, so center pair directly, and these sides are equal. Like if you find the distance from this point to this point, this will be equal. Okay, so if we take this distance is 3 minus 2 to 1 and this distance is minus 1 to 5 is this is the distance is 6. Okay, so half 6 into 3, that is area is 9. Okay, area is 9, that means we can eliminate these two options. Now area has to be B or D. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to take another values of A, B and C. So let us change the values. Let us take A as 2. Okay, so A को 2 कर लेते हैं. Let's make it 2 1 1 and see that if it makes sense. So if we put 2, it will be 2 comma 5, 2 comma minus 1 and this will be minus 4 comma 3. Okay, again we will get the same thing. Now if we find the distance is 6 only, and this distance becomes minus 4 to 1, sorry, minus 4 to 2, which is 6. Okay, so this becomes uh, this becomes 36 or 18, and ABC if we take 2 1 1, so again that is 18 only. 9 ABC, 9 AC. So let us do one thing. Let us change B in this case, because when we are changing A, it does not impact. We have taken B as 1, right? So let us change B to some other value. Let us say this is 1 2 1. Okay, we'll find the coordinates using 1 2 1, because when we are changing A, it basically B is remaining 1 only, so the both the options are same. Okay, so let's change B to 2. So B, if we change to 2, this becomes A 1 minus 2, that is 1 coordinate, then 2 plus 4, and this is minus 2 comma 3. So this coordinate remains minus 2 comma 3. This coordinate changes to 1 comma 0, and this coordinate becomes 1 comma 6. Okay, now if we see this distance is 6, this distance is 3, area is 9. Okay, now if we take 9 ABC, the area is 18, and in this case it is 9. So the answer would be 9 AC. Okay, a bit of play with numbers, because if you do in the conventional way, you are going to get some variables, or you can use the determinant method also, right? There is a method called determinant method. See, usme you find the matrix of this a b minus 2c 1 1 1. I think that is the, I forgot this, they teach in class 12th and first year of engineering, like this ऐसे करके होता है, or you find the length of sides and all this. So that is the way to find the area of triangle. Okay, but that is something that you could avoid. You can apply the numbers and attempt it. Okay, but if you are not good at coordinate geometry, you could have skipped this part. Okay, so let's see the next question. Five students appeared for an examination. The average marks obtained by these five students is 40. Okay, average is 40, maximum is 100, and each of the five students scored more than 10 marks. Average is 40 and max is 100. None of them scored exactly 40 marks. So none of them got 40 marks. Based on this information, which of the following must be true? Okay, at least three of them scored a maximum of 40 marks. Maximum 40 means three of them scoring less than 40. So it is possible that two of them have less than 40 and two more than 40. I mean, you can take some numbers. Does it say distinct numbers? The average marks obtained by these maximum marks is 10. Each of them scored more than 10. So we are not given any of the values, right? So we can prove it false. Like it says at least three of them scored more than a maximum of 40. So it says 3. So if we take 35 35, right, the total is 70. We need to make 130, right? 42, 43, 45. We can make it. So we can prove it wrong. At least three of them scored more than 40 marks. So we can prove the other way around also. So let us take three people take 30 30 30, and we take two people 90 55 55. Again, this is wrong. Three of them scored more than 40 marks. That is also false. At least one of them scored exactly 41. That is also not possible, not necessary. At most two of them scored more than 40 marks, right? It says maximum two people scored more than 40. So let us do one thing. Let us have four people less than 40. So this is 120. One person greater than 80. Right, so this is also rejected. Now the last option says at least one of them scored less than 40 marks. See, none of them is scoring 40 marks. Okay, none of them is scoring 40 marks, and the average is 40. So that means the numbers are either less or more than 40. Okay, some number have to be less than 40. Average is a balanced value. None of them is scoring 40 marks. So average means that someone should have scored less, someone should have scored more also. But at least one of them should have scored less than 40, because चार लोग अगर हम ऊपर कर देंगे, so in order to bring the average down to 40, we have to have some person scoring less than 40. So conceptual question, and one could have answered it easily. It's just that it was the last option to test. अगर ये पहला option होता तो ये could have answered it instantly. Well, let's next question. Raju and Sarita play a number game. First, each one of them chooses a positive integer independently. Separately, they both multiply their own chosen integers by 2. So let us say Raju and Sarita. He chooses x, she chooses y. They multiply the chosen integer by 2. So it becomes 2x, it becomes 2y. And they subtract 20 from the resultant. So 2x minus 20, 2y minus 20. Now each of them has a new number. They divide their respective numbers by 5. Okay, so when we divide by 5, it would be 0.4x minus 4 and 0.4y minus 4. Okay. Finally, they add their results. So when they add the results, it will be 0.4 times x plus y minus 8. And they found the sum as 16. So this is 16. So this gives us 0.4 times of x plus y is equal to 24, or x plus y is equal to 60, right? So x plus y is 60. What can be the maximum possible difference between the positive integers chosen by Raju and Sarita? Now the sum is 60, right? And uh, they choose a positive integer, right? So minimum integer one can choose is 1, maximum could be 59. So maximum difference will happen when a person chooses the minimum integer. So one person will choose 1 and 59, so maximum possible difference is 58. A painter draws 64 equal squares of 1 square inch on a square canvas measuring 64 square inches. She chooses two squares, 1 square inch randomly, and then paints them. What is the probability that two painted squares have a common side? So 64 squares are drawn on square canvas measuring 64 square inches. So basically 8 into 8 will be the grid. Now let us understand this. Suppose we have one line. Okay, so I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these are 8 squares in one row. Okay. Now we have to find the probability that two painted squares have a common side. Okay, so suppose if I paint these two squares, they will have a common side. So one possibility. If I paint these two sides, they have a common side. If we paint these two sides, we have a common side. These two common side, these two common side. Okay. These two common side, these two common side. So in one row, we have seven possibilities. Okay. In one row, we can have seven possibilities of common sides. So there are 8 rows. So we will have 56 possibilities of common sides. We were counting only one row. Okay. Now similarly, if we count column wise, so if this is painted and this is painted, we will have a common side. If this is painted and this is painted, we will have a common side. So like this, every column can also have seven possibilities, right? And there are seven columns. So we have 56 possibilities for rows, and columns we have again 56 possibilities. So we have a total of 112 possibilities wherein two squares have a common side. Two painted squares have a common side. Is it clear? Now we have this is the numerator, and in how many ways can we choose two squares? That is 64C2. So the probability is 112 upon 64C2. 112 64 into 63 upon 2 is 32, and 32 into 33 is 63 is 12016. So this was the answer to this question. Okay, so this is how we can find the probability. Okay, so here's a function given that a n plus 1 is 1 upon a n plus, so from 1 2 3 4 till 2009, where a1 is 1. Okay, and we have to find the value of a1, a2, a3, and so on till this product. Okay, so let's say a1 is equal to 1. A1 is 1. A1 is already given as 1. A2 is equal to, first let us find some values, right? 1 plus 1 upon 1. So what happens? It is an is 1. 1 plus 1 upon 1 is 1. So this is 1 upon 2. Okay. Now a3 we need to find. A3 will be equal to 1 plus 1 upon a2 is 1 upon 2. So this becomes 1 upon 1 plus 2. Right? 1 upon 2, when you divide by 1, it becomes 2. So 1 plus 2, that is 1 upon 3. Similarly, if you find a4, that will be, so 1 upon 3. So that becomes 1 upon 1 plus 3, that is 1 by 4, and so on. Okay, so we know that an is 1 upon n. Okay, so we need to find 1 into 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 into 1 upon 4, and so on till 1 upon 2008 into 1 upon 2009. Okay. Now let us notice this thing, that if I do 1 minus 1 upon 2, that becomes 2 minus 1, that is 1 upon 2. Okay. If I do 1 upon 2 minus 1 upon 3, that becomes 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 3. Okay, 2 into 3. If we do 1 upon 4, 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 4, this becomes 1, 4 minus 3 is 1 upon 3 into 4. So basically, if we take 1 into 1 by 2, this is 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 3 is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 plus this term is, this is the term which is known to us, this is 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 4, and so on it will go on till 1 upon 2008 minus 1 upon 2000. Okay, so this is what we get. Now 1 by 2 will get cancelled, 1 by 3 will get cancelled, 1 by 4 will get cancelled, and so on till 1 by 2008 will get cancelled in this. So what we are left with is 1 minus 1 upon 2009. So 2009 minus 1 is 2008 upon 2009. That is the answer to this question. So a typical series based question, such kind of questions are quite common in CAT and XAT over the years. Let's see the next question. A non-flying ant wants to travel from the bottom corner of a diagonally opposite top corner of a cubicle room. The side of the room is 2 meters. What will be the minimum distance that the ant needs to travel? Okay, so this was a tricky question, and similar question was asked in the past in CAT as well. Now it has to move from this direction to this direction. Okay, it has to go from here to here. Now it cannot fly. It is saying that non-flying ant. One of the approaches which some people might have used and got the answer is incorrect is they might have taken this distance. Okay, they must have taken that this is 2, and they must have taken the diagonal like this, which is root 2. So they must have got 2 root 2 plus 2, which is one of the options. And if you calculate the values, it is 1.41. So it is 2.82 plus 2, 4.82. Okay, so this would have been the distance. But consider that the ant does not go one side and then diagonal. It goes to the opposite diagonal of this side. This is a very good question. So it goes from this point till this point, it goes in a diagonal way, and then it goes in another diagonal way. So when you go in the diagonals, you reduce the distance. Now this is the midpoint, and it is 1, and this is 2. And this is the midpoint, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, so this is a 3D image. So understand this, this is 2 and 1. So this distance is going to be root 5. And this distance, this is 1 and this is 2. So again, this distance is root 5. Okay, if it covers this way, the distance covered is 2 root 5. Right. The value of root 5 is 2.236. And if you multiply it by 2, you will get 4.472, which is less than this distance. So the least distance you will get is 2 root 5 meters. So how will the ant travel? It will take this point and go till the midpoint of the adjacent side. And from this midpoint of the adjacent, now it can walk along this side, this face, and reach the diagonal. So that is the approach to solving this question. There was a time when such questions were quite famous in CAT. They used to ask, like when CAT used to have multiple slots. This was a very famous question back then, and people used to discuss this question. Suppose Haruka has a special key in her calculator called delta key. Rule 1. If the display shows a one digit number, pressing delta key replaces the displayed number with twice its value. If the display shows a two-digit number, pressing delta key replaces the displayed number with the sum of two digits. Suppose Haruka enters the value 1 and then presses delta key repeatedly. After pressing the delta key for 68 times, what will be the displayed number? Okay, so this is a cyclicity based question. Let us find out that what if she starts with 1. Okay, so 1 will make it 2, 2 will make it 4 because it is single digit number, it will double. 2 will become 8, 8 will become 16. But now 16 will not become 32. Now it's a two digit number, displayed the sum of the two digits. So 16 will show 7, 7 will be doubled, it will show 14, 14 will show the sum of digits which is 5, 5 will get doubled, it will show 10, 10 will show 1. And now the cycle will repeat. Okay, so now if you press 1, 1 will show 2, 2 will show 4 and so on. Now let us find out that the cyclicity, how many times you need to press. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you press 9 times, it returns to 1. So whenever there is a multiple of 9, it will return to 1. Now 63 times, it will return to 1. Because every 9 times it will return to 1. 63 times it is 1. 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. So the answer is 7. 68 times means 9 times ka cycle bana, 7 cycles and 5 more times. So after 5 times it is becoming 7. So the answer is 7. Well, let's see the next question. There are 3 sections in a question paper and each section has 10 questions. The first section only has multiple choice questions and 2 marks will be awarded for each correct answer. So section 1 plus 2. For each wrong answer, minus zero point 0.5 marks will be deducted. Okay. Any unattempted question in this section will be treated as a wrong answer, and each question in this so the marking is plus 2 minus zero point 0.5. So irrespective of you unattempted or you take it wrong, you will lose 0.5 marks. Okay. Each question in the second section carries 3 marks, whereas each question in the third section carries 5 marks. For any wrong answer or unattempted question in the second and third sections, no marks will be deducted. So it will be 0 and 0 for the second and third sections. A student's score is the addition of marks obtained in all sections. What is the sixth highest possible score? Okay. Now, first of all, each section has 10 questions. So 20 marks is the maximum in this. 30 marks is the maximum. 50 marks is the maximum. So maximum is 100. Okay. Now you will lose marks for not attempting a question or attempting it incorrectly. Okay. Now remember this. In this case, in the first case, when you are not attempting a question or skipping it altogether, you are losing minus 2.5. ठीक है, ऐसे आपने नोटिस किया होगा जब आपने कैट की रिस्पॉन्स शीट देखी होगी, एक आंसर गलत हो गया तो 4 का लॉस हो जाता है, 3 तो वो जो आप सही समझ के बैठे थे वो गलत, एंड 1 मोर रॉन्ग बिकॉज ऑफ इनकरेक्ट. सो हियर द लॉस विल बी ऑफ minus 2.5 if you get it wrong or do not attempt. ठीक है, if you attempt all questions, let us say you attempted all 10 questions, so you will get 20. But if you attempted 19 questions or you did 19 correct and 1 incorrect, so you will get 19 into 2, 38 minus 0.5, 37.5. So you lose 0.25. Okay. In this case, if you do not attempt a question, you do it wrong, you will lose 3 marks. In this case, you will lose 5 marks. So these are the possible deductions. So maximum possible score is 100. Now suppose a student gets all these correct and loses 2.5 marks here. So that person can score 97.5. Okay. Now if that person suppose gets all correct here and all correct here but loses 3 marks here, so can have 97 marks. Okay, this is the third highest. Now fourth highest, if we talk about, a person can lose minus 5, because if you take the combination it becomes minus 5.5, or if a person does 2 questions incorrect or 1 question incorrect here, a person can get 95 also. Okay, 4 marks, 5 marks can be lost. If a person loses this marks and loses this marks, can lose 5.5 marks. Okay, that means a person can get 94.5 marks also. So these are the, we have to find the sixth highest. Sixth highest can happen. A person does all these correct and loses two questions like this. So a person can lose 6 marks and get 94 marks. Okay, so this is the sixth highest possible score. Answer is 94. Seventh highest if they asked. Now six you can lose five and minus 2.5. 7.5 भी lose कर सकते हो. ठीक है, 7 नहीं हो सकता. 2.5 is 5. You cannot lose 7. You cannot lose. So 6 you can lose. 6.5 you cannot lose. Next would be 92.5. But it was asked the sixth time. So 94 will be the answer to this question. Okay, so let's move to the next question. I hope you have been enjoying this session thus far, so please don't forget to like this video. Let's continue to the remaining questions. ABCD is a trapezoid where BC is parallel to AD and perpendicular to AB. So this is BC, parallel to AD and perpendicular to, so this, and given that BC is less than AD. And this is D, right? P is a point on AD such that CPD is an equilateral triangle. So this means this already is the 60-degree angle. So this is an equilateral triangle. Okay. Q is a point on BC such that AQ is parallel to BC. Okay, so we take a point Q and we draw a parallel to BC. If the area of triangle CPD is 4 root 3, find the area of triangle ABQ. Okay, so we need to find the area of this triangle. Now let us do one thing. Let us divide it into two parts. So it's an equilateral triangle. If we draw the perpendicular, okay, so this is divided into two equal parts, right? Now observe this triangle BAQ and C. Let us call this point as CED. Okay, this is a rectangle. Okay, this is a rectangle, so 90 degree fine. This side will be equal to this side. Okay, and this angle is 90 degree. This is fine, and this is a parallelogram, so this side is also equal to this side. So these triangles are congruent, so this area of this triangle will be equal to area of this triangle. Now this is 4 root 3. This is half of this, which is 2 root 3. So area of triangle BAQ is 2 root 3. Basic question on triangles based on symmetry, equality, and the basic properties like similarity, parallel lines, etc. Separately, Jack and Srishti invested the same amount of money in a stock market. Okay. Jack's investment and invested amount kept getting reduced by 50% every month. So Jack की half होता गई. Srishti's investment also reduced every month, but in an arithmetic progression with a common difference of 15,000. They both withdrew their respective amounts at the end of 6 months. They observed that if they had withdrawn their respective amounts at the end of the 4th month, the ratio of their amounts would have been the same as the ratio after the 6th month. What amount of money was invested by Jack in the stock market? So we have Jack and Srishti. Now we are going for 6-month duration. Okay, so let us take 2 to the power 6 as 64. So suppose Jack invested 64x and Srishti invested some y rupees. Okay, after 1 month it will become 32x. After 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16x, 8x, 4x. Essentially we need only 4 and 6th month. Okay, so this becomes half. Why did we take 64x? X lete x by 2, x by 4 likhna padta. Fractions make it problematic. Okay, Srishti loses 15,000 per month. So y minus 15, y minus 30, y minus 45. You need to not write all. You just need to write for the 4th and 6th month. Okay, so after 4 months, this is the amount. After 6 months, this is the amount that they have. Now it is given that the ratio is same for fourth month and 6 month. Okay, same ratio after 6 months. So the ratio is y minus 60 upon 4x, that is equal to y minus 90 upon x. And so the ratio is same. We'll just knock off x. We get y minus 60 is equal to 4y minus 360. This gives us 3y. When we bring it this side, it is 300, or y is 100. We took thousands, right? So 100,000. So that means the initial investment is 1 lakh. 100, and since we had removed 1000, so the initial investment is 1 lakh, because both of them invested the same amount of money. Let x and y be two positive integers and p be the prime number. If x into x minus p minus y into y plus p is equal to 7p, what will be the minimum value of x minus y? Now again, this was a controversial question. Let us understand that how we get this, and how why it was wrong. So x square minus xp minus y square minus yp is equal to 7p. Okay, so we can take x square minus y square is equal to p common, and this is x plus y plus 7. Okay, this becomes x plus y, x minus y, or we can take it x plus y p and plus 7p separately also. So we will get x minus y is equal to, it will, when we divide by x plus y, it becomes p and plus 7p upon x minus y. Okay, now we need to find the minimum value of x minus y. So p is a prime number and x and y are two positive integers. So this is a prime number, but x, if we take 7p upon x minus y, so we have, like, sorry, x plus y, we are dividing by x plus y, so x plus y p, so 7p upon x plus y. Now these are two integers, positive integers. So when we make x plus y, it is an again an integer, positive integer, which should be greater than 1. Now 7p, 7 is a prime number, x plus y will be another number. So we cannot have, uh, since it is a prime number, it cannot have any other factors. Okay, so we cannot have any other factors, so this is not possible. We cannot divide this number by x plus y, because p is a prime number, it has to have prime factors only. So this is not possible. Answer is none of the above, and it was scrapped. The question was scrapped and students got marks for this question. Okay, so there were a couple of DI sets as well. It says that there's a graph and three questions followed on it. There are islands and which have different level monetization index, that is given that satisfaction line upon GDP per capita. Graph 3 captures levels of 13 different social economic activities, and this is also some satisfaction with lines. So instructions are not complete. Let's just see this, that this is, there are some different indexes. Okay, effect balance, momentary effect, index of monetization, and there is another graph which gives different uh, things like religion, basic needs, life, harmony, etc. A lot of things given in description, also given index of monetization, a momentary effect, what is ESM, life satisfaction with life are same, and represents number of respondents of the survey. So this data was given, a big graph to read, but easy questions. Okay, so let's see these questions. Which of the following best capture the relationship between GDP x-axis and life satisfaction y-axis? Simple question. You need to find the relation between x and y. See, y is equal to x is a straight line like this at the 45-degree angle. Y is equal to x square is something like this. So you should be able to read the graph. Now y is equal to log x is a line like this. Okay, and y is equal to 1 upon x square is an exponential like this. and sorry, y upon 1 upon x square is like this, and y is equal to e to the power x is again an exponential graph. So we see that the third option is what it is matching. So if you know the basic graphs, that what is the graph of log x look like, you would have easily marked this as the answer. Okay, so the answer is y is equal to log x. Which of the following about the four islands can be best inferred from the graphs? You have to go through the graph, observe the data, and answer it. Whenever effect balance increases, this is effect balance, satisfaction with life decreases. So, satisfaction with life, effect balance, and we have satisfaction momentary index of monetization. And so, something was given here that life satisfaction and satisfaction with life are the same. So, life satisfaction is Acha, so sorry, satisfaction of life, yeah, no, but so effect balance increases, life satisfaction increases. So let us see, effect balance has increased, and this is along a different scale. So if it is on the higher side, so effect balance is 119, it becomes 122. This also increases. Effect balance is become 197. This has increased, and this is 239. This has, this says that it decreases, so it is wrong. Okay, so when effect balance is going up, the life satisfaction is also going up. Whenever pleasant activities increase, satisfaction with life decrease. Okay, pleasant activities, so pleasant activity is increasing here for all four. Okay, this has less, Nichum Dweep has less pleasant activity, and but if it has, like if you see that Nijhum Dweep, it has less pleasant activity but high uh, satisfaction with life. So it is incorrect. Okay. Whenever religion increases, satisfaction with life decreases. Religion is increasing, satisfaction with life. So it was some like a tedious task to go through all these graphs and then attempt it, because in a computer screen you have to drag and when you have to scroll a lot, right? So I did not attempt this question in the examination because it was not worth spending time on it. So religion, it says religion increases, satisfaction with life decreases. So religion is here. In Gizo it has increased, but satisfaction has decreased. Okay, here the religion is same. Religion has decreased a bit and life satisfaction has increased. Right? If you go from G to N, the religion has decreased a bit, but life satisfaction has increased. Whenever satisfaction with life increases, family also increases. Okay, so satisfaction with life is increasing in these cases, and life, family, let us see that family is this. Family is increasing, family is increasing. So that is, and if you look at this, it says in index of monetization varies maximum in Nijhum Dweep. So if you look at this Nijhum Dweep, index of monetization is this part, it is maximum in this case. So the answer is option E. Which of the following sites has the highest fishing to economic ratio? Okay, so this we can fishing to economic ratio. So fishing is this part and economy is this next one. So we need to find which has this ratio is the highest. So this has least because economy is high in this case, and then you will have to calculate for these and find out. Okay, so again it requires calculation. So this is 40, 30, 20, 10, 40, 30, 20, 10, 10 and 8. So fishing to economy ratio 10 ratio 8. This is 10 and this is 15. Okay, this is 10, 18 to 15, or difficult to read again. Okay, and this is 12 and somewhere 20. So this is not the answer. This is not the answer. It has to be somewhere between these two. Okay, it has to be. So this is 18 and we can read it as, again, this was something that, because graphs were not clearly readable. So 18 by 14. This is roughly 1.3. This is 1.25. So this has the highest. Nijhum Dweep had the highest. This was the answer. This set was, I mean, two of the questions were scrapped. It said that this table gives the age and gender distribution of COVID positive cases in a country. Some data is missing, represented through unknown categories. Okay, so basically, in this, what one had to do was this total is the total of all these plus this unknown. Okay, this total is the total of all these plus unknown, and this total is this plus this unknown and so on. So highly calculation intensive based questions, and one should have ideally avoided this. Okay, so it says that this data is missing, and it says includes five less than five cases in age group 19 to 30, and 15 1 to 60 who reported gender as other transgender. Okay, so let's see this. An unknown age category, the ratio of, in unknown age category, the ratio of males and unknown females of total unknown cases is same as the ratio of males and all females of the total confirmed positive cases. So this ratio is same that they said. Okay, now it asks that what is the ratio of, in the unknown age category, the ratio of males and females to unknown cases is the same as the ratio of male and female to the total COVID positive cases. So it said that this ratio is equal to this ratio in both the cases. Right? By that logic, like it is something 62 ratio 54, so it should have been somewhere around like 120, but when we did the totaling of all this, okay, it comes less than 100. ठीक है करके देख लेना इस total को. So this question was scrapped because the data which was given was not correct in this case. So when you add all these and subtract from this, you will get less than 100, but ideally this, like as per the information, this ratio is same. So 62 ratio 53, then that should have been less than 100. So this was invalid question. It was removed and students were avoided marks for this. Similarly, in which category the percentage of female COVID patients is the highest? This could have been answered by looking at this table, ignoring this unknown wala fact. Okay, so if you look at this ratio, this is somewhere 1.1 times. Okay, slightly more than 1. This is 1 female COVID patients, the highest. Okay, so if you take this, like you can compare this ratio with this ratio, because for unknown, uh, I mean, similar to this ratio, because in unknown also the ratio is same. So it is roughly 50%, 60 से थोड़ा less, 6 is 192, so 58 some percent. Okay, this is somewhere around 50, somewhere in 50s. Okay, this is also somewhere in 50s. This is also somewhere in 50s. 37 by 73, 50%. 18 by 34, it is again 50 point something percent. This you can clearly see that greater than 60%. So it clearly stands out that this is the highest ratio of female patients. So one could have answered this question. Again, then there was another question which was again invalid, unknown gender category. Since these values were not matching as per the information given, this also question standard out to be an invalid question. So four invalid questions in this paper, two from this DI set, another question on that X and Y upon P, that 7P that was there. Although it was taken as none of the above, and one more question that was of there was one more invalid that we figured out, which was the that slip based question. That this so there were a few invalid questions in this paper. So that ideally wastes time of students, and students should avoid the questions. The paper was difficult, but since questions were scrapped, students got marks for it, and hence the cutoff went high. So, in case you are preparing for CAT 2024 and are looking for our courses, you can enroll in them. The link of the same is given in the description of this video. You can enroll in our section wise modules as well. So that was the solution of XAT 2023. I hope you found these solutions valuable. In some of the questions, you must have learned some good tricks also. I will be continuing this series, uploading the solutions of past year's XAT quant paper, so that you learn that how to attempt those questions, and the best approach to tackling such questions in the examination. Thanks for watching this video.